Alright guys, we're back with another video, another interview, and I'm here with a fellow Torontonian from Canada named Sabby. Yeah, he's got the Canadian cap going. So I'll just ask him to introduce himself and talk a little bit about himself, his background, a minute or two, and just let you guys know where he comes from. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, thank you, Nick, for having me on your channel. I actually came to Rio de Janeiro watching a lot of YouTube videos, and Nick's channel was one of them. So I'm very excited to be here, actually sitting in front of him and being questioned on his channel. So yeah, my name is Sabby, and I was born in New Delhi, India, and I moved to Toronto when I was 16 or 17 years old. So I've been in Toronto for 3 years now. So that gives you my age. I'm 20 years old. Obviously, I'm joking. But I've been in Toronto for quite some time, a few decades. A couple of years ago, lost my job, started my own business. I have my own YouTube channel as well, which is called Slice of Sabby, where I travel the world and share a slice of my life with my viewers. I'm sure Nick is going to put the link of my channel in the description box below, so you guys can just go and subscribe. Right now I'm in Rio, and I have fallen in love with Rio de Janeiro because it's an awesome city, amazing people, beautiful woman.
Yeah. And we're in Ipanema, by the way, guys. I forgot to mention that. We're at a bar here in the neighborhood called Ipanema, close to the beach, as you can see in the background, probably.
Yeah. So I was staying at Copacabana Beach, which is on that side. This is Ipanema. I'm learning all this. So again, I'm a digital nomad entrepreneur, and I have a YouTube channel, and I travel and I make travel vlogs.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. We hung out the other night. It was a good time with another American dude it's his first time as well in Brazil, Rio, Brazil. So, question is, why Brazil? What made you decide to come to Brazil?
Do you want the honest answer, or do you want the
honest
politically
answer.
Correct answer?
Honest.
Okay.
If you feel comfortable.
So I'll tell you. So again, as I said, I'm a travel vlogger now, so I travel to make videos. Brazil, I think if you're a travel vlogger, Brazil is obviously a country that you have to check mark. You probably have on your list that you want to check mark and travel to. So I was waiting for the right time. Before this, I went to all the other Latin American countries, a lot of them. So Colombia, I went to Mexico, I went to Cuba. So this is just my, ultimate travel destination. I first went to Sao Paulo, and then I came to Rio de Janeiro, and I'm kind of like looking for what I want to call my home now. I don't think that I want to be in Toronto forever, because as a digital nomad, you can be anywhere. So I'm deciding what will be my final destination that I'm going to call home, and I think Rio is pretty close now. One of the reasons why I wanted to come here, along with the reason I wanted to see Rio, was I've heard Brazil has awesome beaches, and on those beaches you have beautiful women walking on those beaches. So I'll tell you one thing, guys, I don't know if you'll trust me or not, because you're probably seeing me for the first time, and many other YouTubers say the same thing. But I heard before coming to Brazil that there's pretty women in this country, and I'll tell you, there's not pretty women in this country, there's a lot of pretty women in this country. Like literally, they're just everywhere. There's so many of them that you will start getting a little bit disappointed that it's becoming difficult for you to actually choose from who you go and talk to. So it's just insane. This is amazing. So I came here to obviously be in Rio once, but also to see what this place has to offer.
Right. Good. Yep. And actually, that'll bring me to the next question. If you feel inclined to answer, if you've already had, because you've been here how long so far?
Sao Paulo a week, and in Rio for like a couple of weeks, but I've been working really hard on my companies. I've been indoors, so maybe just chilling for a week. Right.
Have you, the dating scene, I was wondering what would be your opinion about the dating scene here, if you've already had some experience?
You should turn your camera if possible and see what's happening behind you really quick.
Okay. I'll just do the...
Yeah. So if you see, there's this is the kind of women that you see in this country, guys.
I hope I got enough video that did they?
Hopefully
did they catch me catching up?
Maybe she did, but I think she's not gonna mind that, because Brazilian women, from what I understand, they're pretty easygoing.
Yeah, if this was North America, you might have a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. So dating scene, guys. I'll be honest, I haven't dated that much yet, but I'll tell you one thing. I went and I spoke to some women here at the bars, or like, at the club, or maybe just kind of like walking on the beach. What I noticed is that, unlike American women who are all predominantly going to ignore you, these women are really, really, really interested in talking to you. Most of them, at least they'll stop, say hi to you, they'll listen to what you have to say. And I think if they like you, they'll be very open in making sure that you know that they like you. I had a friend of mine who was here with me in the very first week, and I noticed that he was getting a lot of, he's a very good looking dude, so I could see that he was getting a lot of eyeballs falling on him, and women were just coming to him directly and saying, hey, you're very pretty. And this is a woman in Rio telling my buddy. So, if you are like somewhere in the US right now or any other part of the world, and you're a little chubby, or you think you're not good looking, just make sure you work on your looks a little bit, and when you come here, I think that's gonna take you way ahead in your dating scene. But I think the dating scene is better than any other part of the world.
Definitely. I think a lot of guys will definitely attest to that, especially a lot of guys watching videos on my channel. So your first impressions of Rio when you got here, like the first few days, what was your impressions of it? The city,
Probably the most beautiful city in the world. If you guys come to the beaches here and see that not only they have the best beaches in the world, but they have these mountains that you can see when you're looking at the beach, and on top of that you see gorgeous women, and then you see they've built it for tourists. Like you see all these little sheds over here where you can go eat food and drink and whatnot. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. Like, this is absolutely insane. So my first impression of Sao Paulo was obviously a mega city. To be honest, it looked a little bit like Mumbai or New Delhi, like a mega city with a lot of people. And Rio has that chill vibe, and people are just chilling and having a good time. Easy-going people. My first impression, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Wow, okay. That's a good grade.
Absolutely.
So to talk a bit more about the city, what are the top things that you like about the city? I know you kind of talked about the women and things like that, but if you were to come here for, let's say, a couple of weeks, what things would you think people, in your opinion, what are the things that you like most, I would say, and what others would probably like about the city? Hopefully people can hear me on the...
Well, if you're coming here for the woman, then obviously you'll be not disappointed at all. A lot of people think that Brazil or Rio or Sao Paulo are very risky cities. They may be. I haven't had that encounter yet. Yes, in Sao Paulo, my buddy and I were walking, and he had his chain stolen. Like a bunch of 5 or 6 little guys came and basically just snatched the chain and ran away. But again, he was being stupid. He was wearing, he basically had his chain out, visible for others to see. So he was inviting trouble. So I think if you're not inviting trouble and you're just, being a little careful, I don't think that it's very unsafe. What was the question exactly?
Like top things that you like about the city.
Top thing, I think definitely it's a very beautiful city. I think amazing food, a beautiful woman, great beaches, and much cheaper. Like the apartment that I'm living in, that's $300 Canadian for 10 days. I mean, if I can live there for a whole month, that's $900, and it's an amazing apartment, right? So I think you will get a better bang for your buck in case you move to this city. The weather's been nice, at least the time that I've been here for. So my first impressions have been absolutely fantastic. The only issue that I face is that I don't speak Portuguese, so brush up your Portuguese or learn Portuguese if you don't know it, and I think that's going to help you a lot as well.
Yeah, I mentioned that a lot in my videos to guys. If you can at least get a little bit of some of the words down or some phrases, it'll go a long way for you here and make things a little bit easier, because a lot of people unfortunately do not speak English. That's just the reality.
Same.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
means yes.
Yeah, sing. Now, some things you don't like about the city. I mean, I always try to keep it real on this channel, and you always have to talk about things.
Honestly, if you want me to come up with one, I'll come up with one.
Okay.
I don't know, there's one thing that I didn't like about Brazil. Or at least, see, again, I'm not very well traveled, but Sao Paulo and Rio, honestly speaking, guys, I didn't feel, because I've not been to places that may look third world, I have not felt that I'm in a second world or a third world country. Being in Rio, especially in the Ipanema area, Copacabana area, Lebanon area, I've always felt that it's like Miami or Canada. Like, maybe not Canada, but I mean, it looks pretty first world. So there's not, to be honest, like, I don't want to just like say something that I don't like about. The one thing that I didn't like is my own problem, which is I don't know the language.
Right.
I think it would have just been so much more awesome if I knew the language, but honestly, I can't come up with one thing that I don't like about here.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's never had that many people say that they don't have anything. That's great. I mean, I always mention, there's a problem with guys who try to rob you or whatever, but I mean, if that hasn't even affected you, that's good.
Well, obviously, I mean, the incident that I mentioned, but again,
It hasn't
I think it's
affected
about
you.
being smart. It's about being smart. Like, if you know
Oh, for sure.
that, like, you're not gonna have this. This is, by the way, not a dildo. Just so you guys know, this is a what do you call that? Like a stick, like a phone stick, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have this with your
Selfie
cell
stick.
phone selfie stick with like this, and you're gonna walk all day long in Ipanema or Copacabana, you're inviting trouble, right? So. If you're smart and you're not inviting trouble, I think you should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, and that actually brings me to exactly my next question. Do you feel safe in the city?
I think that I have ensured that I don't do things that I've not felt safe around. But again, I went to Lapa, which is the kind of like an area in the central, which is a lot of parties. I've been walking. Yesterday I was walking at 12 at night, 1 a.m. at night over here, Ipanema. I felt very safe. I've been going for my walks on Copacabana, which is a much busier beach, so you obviously feel more safer there. I've been walking every day from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. I've been feeling very safe. I went to Lapa and many other places, and I felt safe. It's just that, again, as I said, I've been very smart in not going to places where I would see a lot of kind of like, I would say, poor locals, because I think that could be a little bit of a trouble. So far, like, I've been very smart in ensuring that I feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, my personal belief is the city is relatively safe. You just have to be smart,
Yeah.
keep your head on a swivel. That's the most
Very
important
true.
thing. It can be stressful at times, but that's just the reality, So, what would you say? You've been here now a while. A lot of other people have come here, and there's always that whole mentality of like, oh, I don't know if Brazil's safe or Rio's safe. What would you tell people who are like on the fence about whether or not they should come and check out Rio or Brazil?
I watched a video of one of the guys you interviewed with, DSW. What was this channel called? The black dude.
Oh,
the bald guy.
DJP.
DJP.
Dennis,
So I was watching his videos, Dennis videos, and he said one thing, that if you're coming for the first time, just come. Don't come for like 1 year. Don't sell everything and come here. Come and check it out, experience the city, and see if you want to live here. Like, I know for myself, I know that I'm busy for the next 6 months, because I'm going to go back to Toronto in December, and then I'm going to Asia because I have some trips planned and whatnot. But I know that I'll be back here next year. Like, I'm going to crave to come back to Brazil. So for me, a month and a half was enough for me to get an idea that I want to be here. So if you're on the fence and if you can come, you're a digital nomad, and you're coming here for all the wrong reasons, just come here once and check it out and see for yourself if you want to call this home or not.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of places in the world that could be deemed dangerous or not as safe as North America or Canada or whatever. But this place, I mean, if you're smart enough and you're keep your eyes out and you have contacts or whatever, people maybe to look after you, or you travel together, you'll be just fine. I mean, just be smart. That's all. Travel smart.
True. Very true.
Do you have anything else to add about your time here in Rio. Anything you want to tell these wonderful people on my channel?
Oh, Jesus. There's so much to tell.
Yeah.
There's so much to tell, and I've experienced so little that I don't think that I'll do justice to that. But I think as a global traveler, there's one thing I'd like to tell you people is that whatever assumptions I had about any of the countries that I traveled to, whether in Vietnam or Thailand or India or Cuba, none of these countries were even closer to what I thought they would be because of the preconceived notions I had. So all I would say is that if you are in your little bubble and you do want to travel, if you don't want to travel, then that's fine. You be in your bubble, that's awesome, right? For some people, that's the best thing. But if you want to travel and experience what the world has to offer, then come out, travel, take the risks. And if you're taking those risks, I think Brazil should be right up on your list. It's a country worth taking that risk, because what an experience, what a different experience you will have when you come here.
Yeah, and actually I just thought of a question right now. How long would you say someone would need to stay here to experience, a good amount of time in order to experience everything that at least this city of Rio has? It's difficult to say for the country, but the city, of Rio de Janeiro.
If you're time starved, you have to go back. You're only getting a couple of weeks off from your job, then maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. But I think to really start feeling you're a part of the community, maybe 90 days.
Yeah.
Minimum 90 days. I'm here for a month, and I've started working my way around, getting my food, ordering beer, taking the taxi, knowing how systems work. So I think 90 days would be a good time period for you to kind of like start getting an idea.
Yeah, my personal thing is I would say at least 3 weeks in the city.
True.
At least.
True.
I mean, not many people get that much time off. But if you could spend a month here, I've spent a month here 5 years ago when I didn't really know the city that well. I lived in Rio, but I lived in a neighborhood quite far from this where we are right now. But I would say a good month. I spent a good month in like Copa and Ipanema and I got to know a lot about enjoying myself and getting to know the locals. So I would say 3 to 6 weeks you'd be okay to get to know a place. If you can come for 2 weeks, that's still okay too. But definitely got to check it out. Last words.
Last words, guys. Make sure that you subscribe to Nick's channel. Okay, if you're here for the first time, what an amazing channel. I came here because I watched some of his videos and I contacted him, and he was very kind to meet with me. I'll be traveling quite a lot. I'll be here for a month. I'll be traveling the rest of South America. I'll be going to Asia. So if you want to check out some cool vlogs, go check out Slice of Sabby.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to travel and share slices of my life with you guys. So do that as well. Last word will be life short, travel.
Yeah, man. And yeah, definitely check out his channel, guys. He has a lot of subscribers. I watched a bunch of his videos. Worth checking out. I'll put his information in the description below. I'll post it so you can contact him if he so chooses. But his channel is awesome, guys. Thanks for watching this interview. Thank you, Sabby. Thank you. I really appreciate that you did this interview here in Ipanema.
My pleasure.
And we'll definitely see you guys in another video very shortly. Take care, guys. Live from Rio. Goodbye. Ciao.
Nick.